Hello YouTubers, this is Shane Walsh from County Kerry in Ireland and welcome to my channel. This is my June update for my cactus and succulent collection. And also I'm going to show you a bit of the back garden and what some of the plants that grow here. So this shrub here is Pittosporum Folium Silver Queen, a native plant from New Zealand and grows quite well here in the mild Irish climate. Large purple shrub here in the corner is Acer palmatum bloodgood. A nice small tree for a sheltered site. Bamboos, cotoneasters, and other shrubs. Some Asiatic lilies. Haven't flowered yet. And beside it here is Acer palmatum orange dream, and that's again is a small Japanese maple. Beside it here is a large bamboo, or fountain bamboo, from a native of China. So we'll go into the greenhouse. These are more Japanese maples in pots. Yucca. That's Photinia exfraserii red robin, a large shrub which was in the garden and I took it out and I put into a pot for the time being. So we go into the greenhouse. So as I was saying, this is my June update. It's very windy where I am at the moment. It's bright and sunny but very windy. I'm located in Killarney, County Kerry, and I'm over 700 feet above sea level, so we're quite high up here. So that's why I have a polycarbonate greenhouse and a galvanized steel structure. So there's the greenhouse. So let's go and have a look at the plants. So a lot happening here in June. A lot of the rubuttias have flowered and are still flowering. Wangartia are still flowering. There's the Wangartias there, which are now in the rubuttia family. Rubuttia, Helosia albiflora, and that one, or that little plant, I took as a cutting about 4 or 5 years ago, I'd say. Rubuttia cranziana and Rubuttia fabricii aurea. These are Rubuttia fabricii nana, which are first time flowering for me. I grow a lot of my rubuttias from seed and from cuttings. They're actually quite easy to grow either way. Obviously with the cutting you get a faster plant and a bigger plant. Sulca rubuttias flowering. Sulca rubuttia breviflora and Sulca rubuttia, I think it's Rochii, and that's the purple coloured form. You can see the lovely coloured purple to the epidermis. And here's the green one. This hasn't flowered for me. That's about, I have that about 3 years. This here is Sulcorobotia aranica, and that's about the flower. Robotia fulviceta, and there's another beautiful robotia over here, or robotia, I don't know which one to pronounce. Is Robotia albipilosa, a lovely silvery puffball of a robotia, and beautiful flowers on that one. So they're all the robotias. Robotia Helosia albiflora, and some of those I would say about 14 or 15 years. This is my Robotia muscala, and I have that over 22 years. Again, with Robotia, you should really try and pot them every year in a good gritty potting compost. Now, I will show you what compost I use towards the end of this video. I know I said it in my last video, and I actually forgot, so I'll tell you. But I mean, with Robotias, they're quite easy to grow and care for. Cool conditions during the winter. Obviously no water, and they should flower for you. But if you keep them in a restricted or a small pot, they won't flower. They need a nice root run. Sulcorobotias, mountainous cactus from South America, need a very, very gritty compost. Now, my last update, I taught you what kind of compost I use, and I'll explain it to you when I show you the composts. Mammillarias, Mammillaria Zellmania alba, and this is a beautiful mammillaria, and it flowers for a long time compared to the other mammillarias. If you can get your hands on this one, it's a beautiful, beautiful flower, and quite easy to grow. I actually grew that from an offset. The mother plant, which I gave away because it was too big and I didn't have a greenhouse at the time. This one here, about the flower, another mammillaria. I think it's Melicentra, I'm not too sure, but it's a beautiful mauve purple type flower. My Mammillaria Zellmania, this one here, is still flowering. A great little plant. Mammillaria luteae, and as I said in my other videos, that these are actually grafted because they're quite difficult to grow on their own roots. Mammillaria zucariana. I haven't seen this one much in Plantsmen's catalogues, so I would say it's quite rare. We'll move across here. So there are parodias, Parodia magnifica, which I must repot. This one here is a Nota Cactus. I'm not too sure. I was calling it Nota Cactus Slosseri, but I don't think it's that one. So there are all your parodias, some which are going to flower in the immediate future. You can just see a few flower buds there on the Parodia novosa. Then you go up to the rainbow cactuses. Echinocereus. I've just got 3 of them. Last one there is Regimedalis, which lost all its roots, or most of its roots, so I cut all the roots back, and hopefully it'll be okay. I have given it a really good gritty compost. Brasilocactus, Hasselbergeri, and this is stellata, and that one is 32 years old. So they're all going quite well. Old Man's Cactus, Cephaloceratus, that's the silvery white one there. I have that over 20 years. And beside it there is Ceres peruvius. And that grows to quite a large size. And Ceres peruvius, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. And which one over here is the Choy Cactus, Echinopsis Choy Cactuses. They can take a lot of water, so don't be afraid to water those cactuses. So we'll move down here. These again, different cactuses. Some flowering. The Gynocalciums are flowering, or about to flower. There's a one there now about to flower bud. Astrophytums. This is the 2-year-old seedlings, doing well. My 2 Ariocarpuses. Again, Ariocarpuses are very, very slow growing. And this one here, which is Retusus, and which is probably the largest of all of them, of all the Ariocarpuses, was seeds was sown in 2009, and I got these in Slovenia. I'd say about 2 or 3 years ago, about 3 years ago now, and they're very, very slow growing. This is a seed I saw 2 years ago. Look at the size of it; it's tiny. So we'll go through all the different ones here. Gymnocalcium bruchii, probably one of the easier plants to grow and cactus to grow and flower. Nice little pretty kind of pinky white flower on that. Teprocactuses, and now I potted all my most of them, the teprocactuses today, and I can just show you the mix I use. It's a very sandy, gritty mix. Same with the Lapophoras, a good sandy, gritty mix, because they will rot. I'm actually a qualified horticulturist, and I've over nearly 30 years experience on plants, but you know, I'm still learning. So when you're growing cactuses, apart from the very easy ones like the golden barrel, which is this one here, they're not fussy. I mean, they'll take a bit of abuse. But plants such as teprocactuses, Lapophoras, and Ariocarpuses, and the Astrophytums, you really want to look up for their culture requirements, because they're I suppose more of a challenge. So that's all the teprocactuses. Coming down here, it's a few bowl gardens, and this is one that I planted this year or this summer, and it's quite good. And they're everything is planting. All the plantings are growing well, as you can see. Hagoceras. Again, I have this plant quite a long time, and you see the kind of the way the middle here is, it goes right in. That's obviously when the plant is growing. It's elatition, and what happens is it's low light levels, and the plant or the top of the tip of the plant or the growing point gets very thin. So that's what happens is. Now you could cut the top, or cut it there, and it would probably and try and root the top of it. But you know what? I couldn't be bothered. I'll just leave it the way it is. It's fine at the moment. The beaver tail cactus, Opuntia bacillus, got a lot of mealybugs last year. Did treat it, kind of sulking, still alive, so I suppose just cross our fingers and hope for the best. Agave, what is it? Sorry, now that one there is Lapofanta quadricolor, and that seems to be doing quite well. overwintered it outside in the greenhouse. I don't have any heat in my greenhouse, so most of my plants go inside for the winter. This stayed outside and didn't do quite well, so next year I probably will bring it in. My 22-year-old golden barrel cactus. Well, I have this 22 years, but that cactus is a lot older than that. Lamprantus. Some about the flower. A southern African succulent. Another large queen agave. Agave Victoria Reginae. I have that plant, well, I'd say about 15 years as well. I had another one, an older one. And some of my other videos I might have mentioned this. And unfortunately it died because of stem rot this year. So this here is Agave ex nigra, and I have some pops of that which I've potted up, some cuttings, and this one here, or these two trays here, are seedlings Robutia crenziana, the Robutia with the very scarlet coloured flowers. As you can see here, I saved the seed from this one and I sowed them approximately 2 years ago. Now they should be all potted into bigger pots or separate pots. Echeveria shaviana, about the flower. This is a very nice Echeveria. And beside it there is Enonium. And I got this last week as well. And just potted it up into a nice clay pot. Beside it here is Crassula Hummel Sunset. Small dwarf type variegated jade plant. Kanchikoi Tercifolia, and then here is my silver Tart cactus, Choy Cactus straussii, jelly bean plant. There's a Gino calcium flowering, nice cerise pink flower, kind of green on the outside. Graptiveria titubans and Agave. Do you know what? I've forgotten now what it is called. Oh, attenuata. I should know that. And here's a bowl of Echeverias in a nice pink bowl. So here's a nice pink bowl, and the kind of the colours then complement the bowl with the pinks and blush blues and greens. This here is Apuntia Bolliceae, Azuria Bolliceae, and it's a beautiful yellow flower with a red centre. And I'll do a separate video on that when it actually flowers. So I think that's probably next week. This here is Apuntia or Ostrocylindrica vestita, and I've just potted that today. It really needed to be potted, so I did. I potted it. Mammillaria elongata and Mammillaria plumosa. Not too sure what this guy is. And there's another Parodia graciae here, and they're doing quite well. So that's that side. Going to the succulents and other cacti. Back here are all my 2-year-old seedling cactuses, doing well. And they are the golden barrel cactuses, Robutia pygmaea. And I think there's another Echinocactus ingens, a very slow growing little seedling there. Teprocactuses, some going to flower. That's a Cactus geometricus, and you can see the flower bud on that. I got this one last week from Poland. Sorry, from Czech Republic, and this is Cactus, another Cactus geometricus. So again, with the geometricuses and Cactuses and the Punas Bonnier and the Puna Bonnier, which are also Cactuses, they need a good gritty compost. So they're the Cactuses. These are a few cuttings of Cactus articulatus papyricanthus, and they've all rooted. Two of those are rooted. These are my Cactus geometricus, which I rooted in, which I took in March 18, and they've all rooted. And you can see one there. The one in the middle has a bud, not a flower bud now, but a stem, a young stem. Echeverias. I took top off this echeveria. You can see here where it's sprouting, and here's the top, which is also the top of the plant, which is also sprouted, because it was reverting. And reversion is where it goes back to the parent form. So you can see the parent, which is purple. What is it? Sorry, purple pearl, and this here is red prince. So the whole plant would eventually turn back into the parent plant. So I cut it back. Hopefully, it'll stay as red prince. I'm not too sure. These are all echeverias. I'm not going to go through them all, but beautiful colours and beautiful forms. I do highly recommend echeverias for bowl gardens. If you live in a warm area, obviously. In Ireland, these really have to be kept inside or sheltered from the rain, because they easily get damaged. So that's the echeverias, doing well. Hawortias, Hawortia cuspidata, which is this one here. I thought it was in curvata, but it was corrected. So it's cuspidata. I must change that label. Hawortia truncata, two different types. There's truncata, and then there's a hybrid or a variety of that, which is lime green. Fritia pulchra from South Africa. Beautiful purplish type flower, which is coming out with a white and yellow centre. These are other Hawortias and other succulents. The white one there is Dudleya, native of California. Again, I must repot that. And the one in the background there is Gasteria, and I have that well over 10 years. Now, I had a very bad time last year with mealybug. So I have treated it, washed it out, cleaned all what I could out of it, and treated it with a systemic spray. So hopefully it'll come back. Aloe arborensis, two different types. This one I grew from seed, and this one I got it as a young plant from Lynn in Desert Plants of Avalon. So that's the Aloe arborensis. Clinia or Senecia staphel. I'm trying to read the label here, and it's a lovely orange flower. So I might do a little video on that when the time comes, when it should open in the next week or two. Dickia fosteriana, beautiful orange flower on that. Hasn't flowered for me yet. Graptopelatum paraguensis from Mexico, or the ghost plant. These are my Louisia, which have finished flowering. I must cut the stems off. Olaudia procera, growing well. And then the last ones here are some of my epiphyllums, which have finished flowering. These are just then different succulents. Down here, it's a bit of a mess here, but some other epiphytic cactuses and aloes, and these here are cuttings of Schlumbergeria exbucklei. See here, they've all rooted. Probably need another bit of water, but these plants are quite hard to pick up now. That's the original Christmas cactus, but you don't actually see them now because it's the other Schlumbergeria truncata, which is this one here, which has kind of replaced it, or the Thanksgiving cactus, which has replaced it. And before I leave you now, folks, this is my first foray into grafting a cactus. The stalk, which is the root, or the stalk plant, is Opuntia or Ostrocylindrica subulata, Adam's needle, and I've grafted Puno Bonnier on top of it, and they're not I grafted them last Tuesday, so fingers crossed, and I'll do an update over the next few weeks on those to see how they're coming on. And I'm just going to show you the Pone Bonnier, or the Tepper Cactus Bonnier, which are these little cactuses. Very hard cactus to come by. I got these in eBay, from a guy in the Czech Republic. It's the same guy who supplied me with the Tepper Cactus geometricuses. So if you can get your hands on these, they're a lovely plant. Beautiful flower when they do flower. And now, before I leave you, I just want to show you some of my composts I use for potting cactus. For very difficult cactuses, this one here, you see here, it's a very gritty mix. Look at it. It's nearly 80% mineral to 20% soil, and the soil I use is my own garden soil. Now this is a mix. This is mixed soil, garden soil, grit, sand, pumice, and core. So it's a good gritty, stony mix. But obviously some plants prefer a really grittier mix, which is this one, which some of the plants I've already taught you about. Whereas this one here is a soil-based mix, is good for things like rubottias. They like this type of soil. Whereas Ariocarpus, Astrophytums, Lopophoros, Tepper cactuses, Sulca rubottias, all mountainous cactus, like a real gritty mix. And you can see there how gritty. So there's I said sand, grit, extra sand, extra grit, lava, crushed lava rock. You can see the crushed lava rock there, and pumice. And also I use some of my own rocks from the garden. This is a kind of a soft, kind of a stony rock, which I crush up, and that's used as well. And I'll just show you them what these. So this is your stony kind of mix, stony. Now obviously you'd mix in this with your soil. That's a bigger grit, or sorry, stones. Whereas this in here is crushed rock and crushed lava rock. So that's the soil there. Then there's John Innes number 2 or 3. Again, equal parts John Innes, compost, grit, sand, pumice, and core. So that's a good soil for most of your cactus will grow in this soil. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them. If you see there, it's a very well drained, but there's a good bit more humus in that one compared to the garden soil one. And then for the more fussier plants or cactus, which is nearly, as I say, 80 to 90% mineral. So I'll just give you a quick tour around. Everything's doing fine. All plants are healthy. Not much pests, thanks be God, this year. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And until the next video, which will hopefully be very soon, thank you and goodbye.